Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk About Christianity. I'm Keith.
See, that was like the most unenthusiastic beginning to our program there could have been. And I know it's after lunch, and I know you just ate lunch. But come on, Keith.
I actually, I'm still eating, but
Sonic? Sonic? No wonder you're tired.
it was between the Y and here, so it was just it was convenient.
Let's try it again.
Why?
I just want just try it again.
I gotta
Oh,
reset everything.
I was just gonna say, let's just start recording. Just catch the second one on there.
I gotta reset the timer though.
Ah.
Yeah. So okay, so you're gonna mock me again. I'm ready for it already. It's just the way that it is. I'm going to get mocked no matter what. So
It's okay. It's okay.
yeah. Okay.
I'm glad you've accepted it.
Here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk About Christianity. I'm Keith.
That was a lot better. But that time, you were more enthusiastic. I liked it. I'm Zach, and this is Paolo. This is our friend, our Peruvian brother.
Pablo, how are you?
Pablo Calderon.
Buenas tardes, pero creo que se va a escuchar en buenos días. Good morning.
Okay. I didn't understand. I didn't know where he was going.
I'm totally confused now because it is completely afternoon in like every time zone that
yeah, it's 2:15 here.
Yeah. So, but anyway, this is Let's Talk About Christianity. And I am Keith. I already said all of that, but we are.
Say it again.
We've got. This is Let's Talk About Christianity.
Say it again.
Episode number 20 of season 3, number 111.
Oh wow! 111.
111.
3 ones.
Yes, and
maybe one day we'll make it to 1,111. 4 ones.
Before we started recording again, because I didn't like the introduction that I gave the first time.
I didn't like Keith's introduction. I didn't like it. Was not enthusiastic. Our program is all about inspiration and encouragement, and I didn't get that.
You have never liked an introduction that I have done. Never. In the history of introductions, you've never liked one that I've done. Pablo's the one that Pablo did as the sports announcer, though, that was the by far the best. Nothing is ever going to top that one.
Speaking of soccer, America lost yesterday to Canada. USA lost to Canada. We lost to Canada, Keith.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's why.
It'd be worse if we lost to Peru. It'd be worse if we lost to Peru, but we lost to Canada.
Yeah, we're kind of in between. You know, we've still got college football going on, and around here anyway, hockey season's getting ready to start. And
is there a lot of hockey fans in Missouri?
Yes, especially since the Blues won the Stanley Cup this past year.
The hockey has never really caught on here in Kentucky.
It is growing in popularity across the country. I don't know.
I like watching it. I do.
I don't know how well it would go over in Peru. But
Jockey?
Maybe.
Yes, hockey.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Maybe.
Soccer rules the day in Peru.
Soccer.
Oh, football.
Yes. Football, and then volleyball too.
Volleyball, really?
Volleyball, yeah. Peru is a very good thing in South America.
That's awesome. I did not know volleyball was. Yeah. Everywhere you go, you see what we call soccer fields, but obviously football fields for you all. But I didn't know that.
But
anyway,
I know what is jockey. I know what is hockey.
Yeah,
hockey. What? Hockey.
Yaki. Yes, yaki. We watch yaki.
We watch yaki here in Peru.
Let's see. Totally off track here. We have our gospel meeting with Spencer Furby starting on Sunday. Yes, Sunday.
Spencer coming back to the program?
Spencer will be back on the program. He just doesn't know it yet.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
So yeah, and it's not going to be, hey Spencer, you want to come on the program? It's going to be, Spencer, we are recording at such and such a time, and you will be present. So
at such and such time.
At such and such time, yes. So
I can't wait. Spencer's awesome.
We just and we're normally we don't record in the afternoon, and I'm blaming that on everything being a little off step, But
yeah,
with
we are morning people.
Pablo's new work schedule, which he has written down on a calendar in like incredible detail.
It's extremely professional.
At least I think it's incredible detail since I don't read Spanish, but
it's extremely professional.
Was that like a cat calendar that you held up?
It looked like those free ones you get at the tire place when you get your tires rotated.
Oh,
that's awesome. Brandon tried to get me into calendars. I just can't do it.
Well, yeah. But Pablo, how's the work going?
The work is going good in Peru. The members that were in Chimbote helped the church. Some of them are like new for mission evangelist mission trips, no? So they were amazed when they were speaking about the 2 days that they spent in Chimbote. And okay, I don't know if Callao Church is coming back to Chimbote this year. But then, we are dealing with the space now too, because we moved because we don't have a space. Now we're dealing the same, especially with children.
Wow.
So,
wow.
It's a good age.
You may have to move again.
No. Part of the plan is to rent the second.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, good, very good. Zach is. Pablo wasn't done. Sorry.
No, and actually that's all. And this Sunday we're expecting. We're having visitors every Sunday, and that's good. And that's good because new members are bringing visitors.
Yes,
that's good.
Yeah, yes. and that's good. Yeah, so we already set up a Bible study after Sunday, the church building with the lady. So we're good, thank God.
Very, very good.
Yeah, we're working.
Pablo keeps acting like he's done, but he keeps talking.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of you, Keith. I think you're rubbing off on Pablo.
So Zach is
Pablo's becoming a mini Keith Albright.
Wow. Gospel meeting season come to an end over there.
Gospel meeting season is at an end. It has been at an end for the last couple of weeks, but apparently, I guess it's just now starting in the South because I'm seeing all kinds of different gospel meetings popping up. Todd Clippard, I'm not sure what congregation that he's at, but they recently had his name is. Oh man, it left my mind. I had it right on the tip of my tongue, and it left my mind. But they had him, and now you've got a couple other ones going on. And
thanks for sharing that with us, Zach.
You're welcome. There's a lot of gospel meetings going on in the South, so check Facebook. I don't know where they're at or who's preaching there, but check Facebook for them.
Okay.
Anyway.
So here is the topic that we are looking at today. And I want to preface this by saying that these are not by any means exclusive. But I just wanted to look at 5 very, very subtle marks of those who are God's children. And these are characteristics that you see in individuals that that they don't make a big show. They don't put T-shirts on that have these characteristics listed on them. But those who are truly God's children possess these characteristics and many more. Maybe that's the way I should have just said it to begin with. And many more.
Forewarning, we will probably not make it through them all.
Oh, yeah. We're
Yes.
gonna,
not going to happen.
We won't.
Yeah. We're going to do it. Yeah. We're going to do it.
Okay, Keith.
But,
all
yeah.
right. Then,
okay,
buddy.
so
We'll see.
so the first characteristic is when you see an individual whose speech is seasoned. A child of God, a true child of God, is going to have seasoned speech. Now, I suppose there's two ways of looking at the word seasoned because of the way that we use the word anyway. One of those has to do with flavor.
Yeah.
Flavor. See?
Yeah. And the other has to do with preservation.
Mm-hmm.
Something that is seasoned has been preserved. Now, as we're looking at speech, I always found it interesting that in Colossians 4 and verse 6 that Paul said, let your speech always be with grace, seasoned with salt.
Sal.
Why would Paul say, let your speech be seasoned with salt?
I always think when I think seasoned with salt, I think of meat that's been cured for a long period of time. And you know how it always lasts and things of that sort. And we may get to this here in a moment, but I also think, you know, when I think seasoned with salt, I think of encouragers. And Keith, I know you know encouragers whose speech is all about encouragement. I mean, they encourage everybody that they come into contact with in the church, and it creates the greatest atmosphere within that family, wherever that family is, the members of the body of Christ that you could possibly have in the church. And I think when I think seasoned with salt, I think encouragers that preserve the unity of the church through the encouragement that they provide with other members. That's what comes to my mind.
Okay.
What?
At least I stopped talking, though. I didn't keep talking like Pablo.
I'm telling you, this afternoon thing is, you know, I don't know if we can keep this up because, you know, it's just, but anyway, no, I was sitting there thinking, okay, what is one side effect of salt? Side effect.
Side effect of salt?
Yes.
Like you eat too much salt?
Yes.
Or
Dehydration?
Dehydration, high blood pressure.
High blood pressure.
Heart problems.
Yes, high blood pressure. So I'm sitting here thinking, you know what? As we are seasoning our speech with salt, it must be done in the right way. Because I know people whose speech is seasoned in such a way that would make your blood pressure go up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, we hear, and this is always so sad to me, but we hear of individuals, high profile individuals in the world, who make professions to be Christians, who profess that they are godly individuals, and then, you know, a video will surface of them going off on an expletive-laden tirade, and you know, their speech is seasoned with the wrong thing. But Paul says, let your speech always be with grace. And yes, encouragement is part of that. And with the word grace, I think also that we see thanksgiving, graciousness.
Yes. Well, and you also could look at it in this way. You know, the two biggest things that break a Christian influence, whatever influence that we have in the community, whatever influence we have with our friends or a group, a social group or whatever, the two biggest things that will break that influence are, one, actions, the way that you act, the way that you conduct yourself, and also two, words, the way that you speak around those people. And you have to be very careful as a Christian because there's danger in speaking like the world. There's danger in speaking like the world in the way that it will ruin your Christian influence. People will see you speaking like the world. They will instantly think he is of the world, and your Christian influence will be gone. And when I think of speaking like in godly ways, in seasoned with salt, I think of, always being encouraging, like we said, always having your speech seasoned with something that brings glory to the kingdom of God, something that brings glory to the work that you're trying to do in your Christian life. And I think of all of those things, but I think that we have to be very, very careful because we walk a very fine line as Christians in the world that we live in when it comes to our speech.
And sometimes this is what I hear from a friend 10 years ago. Even when you tell the truth, it has to be with grace.
Yep.
Because sometimes we think that it is true, it must be hurtful.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you also have to handle those situations with grace. You have to be very
because I can imagine the Colossians preaching and telling, no, you're a sinner, no, things like that. But okay, and Paul say, no, you speak or taught with grace, so handle the situation.
Right.
That thing came to my mind now.
And seasoned with salt, you could go into those other verses that we have, Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 29. But Keith, why don't you expound a little bit on Hebrews 13 and verse 15 about how that can be make or break with our speech as Christians, what we should be doing with our speech as Christians.
Well, that's actually a completely different point that we were going to make, but no, like seriously, on the outline, that's a completely different point. But
it is, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's in the afternoon. We don't have an outline.
Oh man,
we don't have points.
It is in the afternoon. They were doing some work here at the building this past week, putting some timers on light switches so that those light switches would go off automatically. And I caught the deacon who was here working on that, and I said, "Hey, can you put one in my office so that the lights will go out about 1:15 every afternoon so that I don't have to get up to turn them off to take a nap?" And
right.
what time is it? It's 1:29 right now. So
it's past Keith's nap time. In other words,
I'm right in that zone right now.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking, if you look at a piece of meat, you can't tell by looking at it if salt has been added.
He's really taking this analogy real far. He's obsessed with this salt and meat thing.
We're just
anyway. Continue.
Okay,
we got a piece of meat.
So I stopped by a place this morning and was getting some food to bring into everyone here in the office. I'm like, just give me all the bacon you have, and I did, and I came out with this big old tray of bacon, and I'm pretty sure it all got eaten. So, but anyway, the point that I was trying to make is you can't tell just by looking if that has been seasoned or not.
So
you have to taste it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very good.
So.
Number 2.
I don't know. I mean, I think we could fill the next 10 minutes continuing talking about this, but I don't think we have to. Number 2, a subtle mark of one
sacrificing
a child of God. Yes, a sacrificing servant. And now we'll go to Hebrews 13:15. And the author said, "Therefore, by him, let us continually offer the sacrifice of praise to God." And he goes on and says, "That is the fruit of our lips, giving thanks to his name." So really, you've got two different aspects there with this sacrifice that is being offered with our mouths to God. You have praise for God and you have thanksgiving for God. And I think we can praise God without thanking him. I think we can thank him without praising him. But the author of Hebrews includes both of those points. And so when you see someone who is truly a child of God, you are going to see them praising God, perhaps upon occasions that you might not have seen the immediate opportunity, but they're not going to overlook the opportunities that present themselves to praise God and to give thanks to God.
When I think about this verse, I often think about the times that you'll see sometimes on Sundays after church, you'll see the Christian families out in the restaurants. And, sometimes there's really two aspects of this. One, when it comes to interacting with your server or your waitress or your waiter, when you're interacting with that person, how are you interacting with that person? Are you rude? Are you mean? Are you disrespectful? Or are you letting your grace and letting your speech be seasoned with salt? Are you treating them kindly? Are you treating them in a way that is very gracious? And a lot of times people will complain. We've heard it said before that Christians who go out to eat after Sunday morning services are the worst people in the world because the way that they talk to their waiters and waitresses. And you hear that from time to time. And sometimes I would say it would be true.
It took me a moment, but I see where you're going with this now.
Yeah. But then you could also take it and do it this way. How many times have you seen a family, members of the church perhaps, go out to a restaurant after Sunday morning services and you end up at the same restaurant and they don't pray for their food? That's personal, but it's also a way to give praise to God, give thanks to God. And, when people see that you've just come from church, but you're not going to pray over your food, you're treating your waiter or your waitress awful, does that hurt us? Does that hurt us as Christians? And I think it does in a way.
Well, and there are a lot of different ways that hurt us as Christians, as you've described. I've heard it said many times: if you are going to drive like the devil, don't put a Jesus fish on the back of your car.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Or have a bumper sticker that these used to be popular. You don't see them hardly anymore, but that says "Follow me to the church." And I tried to follow you. I couldn't keep up, but
breaking the rules of the law.
That's kind of similar to what you were saying. It's not the same, not at all, but and this is a completely different subject, but
we love tangents here. We'll go off on tangents.
Do we?
We do. We love them. We love rants. We love to hear you rant.
We go on tangents so much that it's really hard to know where the true path lies. But,
we don't have a true path. We just find our way.
So here's a thought, when it comes to attire.
Okay.
Because we have casualed down so much in our society. Used to, if you walked into that restaurant that you were describing, Zach, you could look around in that restaurant. You could tell by what they were wearing who had gone to church that morning and who had not.
Yeah. It's a very good point.
And you can't really do that so much anymore. But if you are dressed in such a way that it should be obvious to the patrons and the staff of the establishment that you are giving your business, if you are dressed in such a way that it is obvious to them that you have been to worship God that morning, you better act like it.
Yes. That was the point that I was trying to make. And it's a point that we often overlook, and I don't know if it's because that we lose sight of what people actually observe about us. People often will know, and it's become a lot harder, as you said, but people often will know that you've been to worship service. Perhaps they know that you're a Christian. Perhaps they know where you were at on Sundays. And we often lose sight of that. And it's not because we care what people think about us. It's because we're trying to set a good example as Christians in the world that we live in. And we need to be setting that example no matter where we go, no matter who we are with or whatever establishment we are at. And I think
if you were going to conduct yourself graciously on Sunday after you've been to church, you better conduct yourself the same way when you go back on Tuesday night or Thursday night or whatever. But,
and I was, and to that point, I know we don't have very much time left. I was listening to a youth devotional the other day, and one of the comments that the guy made is, you know, he was talking to these teens about some various temptations that they face and things that they have going on in their life. And he said, you should be the same person when you have a phone in your hand, when you have a laptop in your hand, when you're around your friends, when you're around family, when you're around your church family, as you are when you have a Bible in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, you know, we don't look at it that way, but when we realize that and we begin to kind of model our behavior after that, it can definitely help our Christian influence as young Christians and as older Christians as well.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've got 3 more points. We made it through 2.
We have 3 more points in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, right? we've got 2.5 minutes, but
we can do it.
No, we can't. I'm not even going to the 3rd point. But here's the point of these being subtle marks of those who are God's children. It all goes back to that influence that Zach was talking about. And that influence that isn't on a bumper sticker or on a T-shirt or, a flashing neon sign, that influence that we have, that we exude on a daily basis, and how easy it is to destroy that influence with a moment's carelessness.
Very good point.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very good point.
Yes.
Really, that's what I had to say. That was the point of this whole outline.
So you're telling us we could have summed up this entire podcast in like 45, 48 seconds?
Yeah.
Could have summed up
you're going, why
everything
didn't you
we
just
said.
say that to begin with?
Exactly right. I mean, why don't you just start with that? And then we could have gone from there.
I don't
know. No.
That's not the way it works.
He don't have a path. He finds his way.
Pablo, what do you have to add?
He's a little behind.
I don't need actually, but since there are a few seconds, don't act like thinking what people will think. Act like thinking what God will think. No.
Yes. Absolutely. Zach, anything else to add?
There's a fine line in caring what people think about you and caring what God thinks about you, and we need to care more about what God thinks about us.
I firmly believe we need to care what people think about us, but it better be for the right reasons.
Exactly.
Which actually was point number 3 on the outline.
Yeah, I was trying to get you.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
so we did point number 3.
I thought he was going to say, let's go ahead and do point number 3.
Yeah, we might as well have, but we'll try to pick up with point number 3 at some time in the future. I got to throw out also that here at Shady Acres on Sunday afternoon, Spencer Furby will be doing a youth emphasis lesson at 4:00, and we'll have singing and I can't remember if we've got food afterward or not, but probably. I don't know.
Just have food. It don't matter how many times you meet as Christian, you always have food. There's always food.
Well, the big food is Saturday evening, but
we love to eat. Us Christians love to eat.
Yeah,
we do.
Okay,
I do. We
are out of time, and we need to get this wrapped up. So, on behalf of the unnamed staff, which we still haven't come up with titles.
We still haven't come up with our titles.
Yeah. Of Let's Talk About Christianity. We want to bid you a good week, and we hope to see you next week with Spencer Furby. In the morning. Yes, it's definitely got to be in the morning.
As early as we can go in the morning.
Yes.
Okay, we got to get out of here. Bye,
Ciao.
everyone.